Welcome to the ChurchApps podcast.
Free software built by the church for the church. We're at Kingdom Glory House in Kentucky, and we are here because of a worship and technology conference that Mr. Mike so graciously invited me and his dad and my wife to be at, and we are all here to just have a good time and understand what is it that the body of Christ needs as it relates to the latest with worship, the latest with technology, and how church apps can meet those needs using B1 Church, using FreeShow, and the whole suite of services that you guys provide, which is unbelievable with websites and mobile apps and all kinds of crazy stuff that we haven't even touched on in this channel. And this like a whole different stratosphere. But everybody today at the conference did get to learn a lot more about those things. And Mike got to sit in on my session. I didn't get to sit in on his session because I was supposed to have a session. Whole different story. We kind of my session got rained out. Let's call it that. It got rained out. My second session did. The first session was unbelievable. Give me your overall about what do you think happened, or how you feel about the whole thing altogether, like in terms of how we got here and all that stuff with this conference.
So an overall of how we got here to the conference, it's really incredible. The Southern Baptist Association, they put on these conferences for worship and technology, which is really cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Bringing the whole denomination of guys from Kentucky basically in to talk about, hey, how are we doing worship and how are we using technology in our church?
Yeah.
And it's just a Saturday, and they called and said, man, we would love to have you guys there because FreeShow is such a big deal, because a lot of our churches, they're losing budget. They don't have any money, and they don't have any worship software that they can use reliably. A lot of churches still using PowerPoint stuff. Yeah. So if you were there and they came by, maybe somebody could talk about FreeShow, and I'm like, I know who can talk about FreeShow. And it ain't me.
We had a blast.
I just called Gary and like, hey, are these dates going to work out? And they did. It was tight. It was very tight for, he's flying out of here, but
we got in tomorrow.
He came in, and then my dad and I drove down.
Yep.
And man, it's a really cool conference. It's the second one of these that we've kind of done. We did one in North Carolina last year, and it went really well. That's when we had Christopher with us, which is fun. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it over from Norway. Sorry, Christopher.
We miss you, bro.
We do miss you. We do miss you. But it was interesting, this conference, the fact that, one, you had a guy whose church we're at right now.
Yeah, let's say Larry. I'm about to say Larry's in the house, but we're in Larry's house.
We're in Larry's house.
His church, like I said, Kingdom Glory House here in Kentucky. He found out on a FreeShow Friday that I was coming up here to Kentucky, and I actually went to the website to figure out exactly what city are you coming in? Because I live in Kentucky, and I was like, I don't know exactly really. So that's a whole another story. But I wasn't the most detailed with the organizing of it in terms of the details of what we were going, because I just knew I'm traveling, and I got my flight, or not my flight, but I have my flight out of here, but I also have my rental car ready. So I thought, and I told him what it was. He saw the website. He goes, hey, I live in that area. He's like, I'm gonna come to the conference and meet up with you and see what it's about. And he got it taken care of, got approval from his pastor, whatever it was. And I believe it was a blessing to their church for the things that he learned. And we got to connect with him and help him do some setup with his live stream and situating his computers and OBS and getting the PTZ cameras in place the way that he wants them to show up on their live stream, which is really cool. Which everybody wants it. It's just a matter of how do we put it in place in a way that makes sense. And I do the best I can with FreeShow Friday, but I know everybody's case is so unique.
Yeah.
It's hard when you can't touch it and be there right side by side to help. And you get to do that all the time.
Yeah. There's something about being at the church and being able to put hands on. Yeah, for sure. It's interesting though. It's the first conference that we've been a part of where people knew us.
Before you have opened your mouth.
Before we even
he's famous.
No, he's famous. But they knew of ChurchApps and they knew of FreeShow.
That's so cool.
Which at FreeShow I saw, because FreeShow's been exploding, lots and lots of people, so that made sense. But ChurchApps not as much. But this conference,
but
I've been looking into ChurchApps. Like I know who you guys are. Like wow. it just shows you that the community is growing, that God's moving.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing that we're doing. It's everything that
He's
He's
breathing
doing
on it.
through it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool to see that. So the conference went great.
Yeah.
Your breakout was awesome because last time I was doing a breakout during both of your breakouts,
Yeah. You were busy.
and so I couldn't come to
Busy.
yours. And so this time I was like, man, I want to get there. You know, eh, it was so good, Gary. The way that sometimes, I mean, you got a screen, you got this program. I'm trying to think it through the eyes of somebody that's never seen Free Show.
Hmm.
Like it's a scary deal. Like,
Yeah. New
wow,
program, new software, like you said, it can be intimidating.
yeah, your mind says I'm gonna have to learn all this stuff. By the time I was done. Like you went an hour, and I was like, man, if that's easy, there's nothing to this. I'm gonna go download it, and I've already downloaded it. I played with it,
That's
but
how you felt, though. You were ready to do
yeah,
it.
I was ready to do it. I was ready to do it again.
And we read it to a number of people, me and my wife, that on their way out, like they were on their way out, or maybe in transition, going to different workshops and things like that
Mm,
later on. And they would say, "Hey, great workshop, thanks for doing that." And I said, "Hey, glad you got to make it. Do you plan to use Free Show?" And they go, "Oh yeah, I'm going home and downloading and playing with it
yeah,
right after this conference."
yeah,
And this was older people, younger people. I ran into a young man.
yeah,
I think his nickname was Riz, I think.
yeah.
And he was the coolest
It
kid.
was
And he
cool.
came and he goes, "Hey, I just used Free Show this past Wednesday for the first time." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, we were using this other program and it just wasn't doing what I needed it to do. So I wanted to try out Free Show." And so I said, "Bro, we got the workshop coming up." I was like, "You
Yeah,
gonna come?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be there." And
yeah,
he was sitting there. I think he was in the front row. He was in the
yeah,
front row, just
yeah.
like tuned in, dialed in,
Oh
and
yeah.
asking all the good questions. And it was
And
fun.
there was the first speaker was a guy from Worship Initiative.
Okay.
And apparently he came over while you were talking to somebody.
What's his name? Do you know his name?
Gosh, yeah.
Was he one of the guys on stage at the
Jeremy.
end?
Was it Jeremy? I can't remember. One of the guys on the stage at the end. Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember either. No,
Uh,
I remember Bubba.
Andrew. It was Andrew.
Okay, okay, okay,
Andrew, and he came over, and he works, I guess, Shane somehow in the Worship Initiative.
okay.
But he came over. He's like, "Love Free Show. It's good stuff." It's
That's
good
what I'm
stuff. I'm
talking
like,
about.
yes.
That is
Well, one of the
crazy.
speakers that are at the conference already like, yeah, well,
That
it
is
loves Free Show.
crazy.
So it's cool because when you have something like Free Show, you want to tell others. And
Yeah,
so to
yeah,
see you tell others was really, really, really unique. And I'll be honest with you, I learned things that I didn't know Free Show could do. You and the way he does it is he brings people up, and so he's not controlling the computer at all. It's like you're going to show everybody how to do it. And they do, and they come up, and well, he added a picture from Pixbay,
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
think.
Somebody, yeah, we got.
And this has always been annoying to me. When you do that, it's a square, and you got black lines
Yeah, you
on
got the
each.
bars on the side. Yeah,
And
yeah,
I've just been like, I mean, this is great. I'm glad that we can get it in, but who wants this picture with black bars? And I've never been able to figure it
yeah.
out. And Gary's like, okay, these black bars aren't good. Why don't you just go here and click this, and then boom,
Full screen.
full screen. And I was like, yeah. Now I know how to do
That is
that.
hilarious.
Oh,
And so I think when you told me that, I was so giddy when I heard you say that you were giddy about it. And I was just like, this is the kind of stuff for me when I do Free Show Friday, when I make a video or anything like that. Like that's the goal, is that people understand something or unlock something
right.
that they never knew they could do, but it was a pain point. And that's the hard part. It's like, how do we, my challenge is, how do I get those pain points visible or out, right? Because everybody's not going to put in an issue ticket, or
Sure.
everybody's not going to make a comment even on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I've been doing lately, especially in 2026, one of the things that I made in my mind is like, I want to engage with people, and I want to be able to, my goal is to make it simple. Like I want Free Show to feel easy, because I've been talking to people all the time. This is a big shout out to Amazing Life, right? So
Yeah.
I've been partnering with them and working with some of
Yeah.
their partners and their customers, in the sense that they're coming from ProPresenter. And I never worked with ProPresenter, but I get to talk with all these youth leaders and youth pastors and youth directors and next gen pastors and all this stuff
That's awesome.
with this curriculum that they have with Amazing Life, the Amazing Plus curriculum, and their whole orange setup and curriculum that we had from the past, bringing it in and
Yeah.
enhancing that and improving it. And you guys are partnering with them
Yeah.
to bring in this whole component of state-of-the-art software to support
Yeah.
state-of-the-art content,
Oh,
right?
yeah. And the content looks great in Free Show.
Oh my goodness. It's
Every time
unreal.
I see it, I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Everything's coming in.
top of the line,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like high
It's
quality.
really, really nice.
And I got to talk to these customers every day, all day, and I realized they don't know how to use ProPresenter. Not in a bad way. Like it's no shade against
Right,
them,
right,
but it's
right.
like they're not even comfortable with ProPresenter. And then I do this demo for them and I show them how to use this program, A-Play Pro,
Yeah.
which is the partnership with Amazing Life. And they are like, this is just like ProPresenter, but easier. That's literally, it's every single call,
Yeah.
every conversation I have with someone that's used ProPresenter, that's their immediate response. It looks just like ProPresenter, but easier. And then part of it's because they've already been exposed to that type of program, right?
Yeah.
ProPresenter is a
Right.
learning curve to begin with. So
Absolutely.
if you
Yeah.
understand any dynamic of what things are arranged like, that's a leg up when you go into FreeShow, which
Sure.
I didn't have. When I
Right.
first got
That's right.
introduced to FreeShow, I was
Open
like,
LP.
yeah, I was like, this is hard. Like
Mm.
this is not easy. This is not cool. What am I missing? And I was like, there's a gap. And I was intimidated because I'm thinking, only big churches use this. And I grew up in a small church. And so I'm
Yeah.
just like, this is not something I don't think I'll ever understand how to do this. And people start, and I remember the first time I understood one thing, and I made a video. That was like, I made a video, I think it was about, like, no, the first video I made, I was just like, oh, and it was about editing media in FreeShow. If I go back in the history, I believe the very first video I ever posted on YouTube about FreeShow was about editing media. And I didn't know you could edit, like, put like a filter on it and
Oh,
make it in
yeah.
grayscale and all this kind of stuff. And I was just blown away because I was like, you cannot do that in OpenLP. Like, that is not happening. It's like, it is what it is.
Right.
And I saw that, I said, what? And I was thinking to myself, I don't think anybody knows it. So I was like, nobody knows it. So that was the first video I made.
Yeah.
And then after that, people kept asking questions on those videos. And then I made an output video because I started understanding a little bit about outputs. And every time I touched the program, I learned something new. Like,
Yeah.
so when you said that you felt that way, I'm like, that's how I felt when I figured it out too. I was like, oh, that's a simple fix.
Yeah.
And I want to make it simple. And so when you said that, it was like, okay, hopefully they understood that because it's hard. It's hard to present something to somebody that already has their mind made up
Sure.
on what they're going to use. Like, that's what I'm grateful that they show up to the meeting, to the workshop.
Yeah.
But they're already using the presentation
There's
software.
at least 20 there, I think.
Yeah, and they're using the
Yeah.
presentation software.
Right.
So
They
part of
have
my
to be.
approach, yeah, exactly. And part of my approach is like, okay, I've got to overcome what they already know, introduce something that they don't know, and make them want something that is better.
Yeah.
But I got to convince them that it's better first. Like, that's where my mind goes. My mind goes, I'm selling a car. I think I told you this before. I'm
Yep.
selling them a car, and it's better than the car they drive, and my car's free. And they can't believe it because I'm like, who want? Like,
Yeah.
but you take some, like somebody tells you, hey, Mike, I got a car that I want to get you this car, man. You're gonna love the horsepower. You're gonna love the steering. You're gonna love the accessories and all this
Yeah.
stuff. It's better than your car, I promise you. But it's so much better. It gets better gas mileage, everything. And you say, well, how much? Because we
How much?
gassed it up. You know, it's like,
Yeah,
this is a
yeah.
really big deal. And then we say, I'm just gonna give it to you, and I want you to get rid of your car.
Yeah, it's too good to be true.
You're like, I want you want me to get rid of my car that I know drives well. You want to take this car that
Yeah.
you're saying drives better than my car.
That is
I've
true.
been proving it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's where I got to calling them up. I call them up because I want them to see it for themselves
That's awesome.
how much easier it is, or how it does work
Right.
for themselves. Because I can tell it, like you said, it's easy to do a presentation and say, this is how this works. This is how this works. And I've seen that and I've done that.
Yeah.
But it's something different when people can do it for themselves.
And I think it's such a big thing too. Like every user that we get that understands that and takes the new car,
Yeah.
you know, the program's get better because of that. Because you've got another user that's talking to you. You got another
Getting
FreeShow
feedback.
Friday
Yeah.
that we can do that's going to be a question if you're going to jump in and be part of the community. That's not everybody knows everything. So you're able to
Good.
jump in and have that aha moment and be like, oh,
Right.
that's so cool.
That's
So
yesterday, FreeShow Friday was at 6:30 a.m. So we had some people on there that were not usually there at
Wow.
11 a.m.
yeah,
I learned something new. I was just like you. I learned how to
That's
use
awesome.
OSC. I was like,
I didn't know what that is.
I didn't either.
I guess I had to go back and watch.
It's built into the program, and I always saw it, and I was just like, I don't think that's a real. I'm like, I just was like, man, I don't think that's something I'll ever.
But if
need.
Christopher put it in there, there's a reason.
I know, I didn't. I had no clue what the reason was, and I was just like, I don't think I need that. So I'm gonna use MIDI. It's basically
Okay.
it allows FreeShow to talk to Companion.
Oh.
Like you can, it's basically like making actions in Companion, like make FreeShow push buttons in Companion.
Oh, cool.
Like, and it's so easy. But I didn't know how to do it because I never needed. I never knew it. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to use it. And so we were on FreeShow Friday. Somebody asked a question. They're from New Jersey. They said, "Hey, Gary, I was trying to use the OSC and it's not working for me." And I was like, "Yeah, I've never used it.
What's OSC?
Never used it. What? No, I know I saw it, but I was like, I don't know what it stands for. I don't have a clue." So then somebody from Australia responds back and says, "Oh, I use it all the time." And so I was like, "Oh, well, it works." I was like,
That's so
I was
cool.
like, "It works." And so he goes, "Yeah, I use it to do Super Source from my ATEM." So Super Source is like two screens or three camera
Okay.
screens
Yeah, yeah.
or two camera screens all next to each other.
Mhm.
just at the push of a button on an ATEM. So you got to have like an ATEM Extreme or bigger or whatever it is. So he's got that, but he's using that in Companion. He's got a button to trigger that in Companion to make his super source happen, because it's not a button in ATEM. It's actually, I guess it's a button, but you got to configure it and then trigger it, right?
Sure,
It's
sure.
not just a 1, 2, 3, 4 button. It's the super source button, whatever it is. I've never used it. And so he said, yeah, this, so I was like, okay, let me go into OSC and see what I can do. And he goes, oh, you did this, or you got to make sure you do this. And so he literally walked me through chat. Like, he's chatting. Like, I don't hear his voice.
This is all live.
This is all live. He's talking to me through chat from Australia at 6:30 in the morning for me, which is like probably like 8 o'clock in the afternoon for them.
7:30 for New York.
Yeah. Me and him are both in the same time zone. So I'm in the
okay.
I'm on the East Coast time zone. Yeah, so we're good. But we figured it out real time, and I was like, oh, I'm doing this now. So I made another button. I did another one. I was like, this is so cool. So I'm like, Roland, and the guy's name is Roland MJ. I know people by name, but I don't know their faces. So I'm like, this is all you got to do. So we made it so simple, because we did it. We repeated it multiple times.
Yeah.
But I got to do it for myself, and I got to make it. It was easy for me to understand because I did it for myself. But I've seen that.
Teaching the teacher. Teaching the teacher.
Every week I'm learning something. I'm telling you, every time I touch the program, I expect to learn something.
And we just say that, like, oh, there's a guy in Australia and a guy in New York. It's like, what are you talking? This is incredible. Like, it's from a kid in Norway. The start of that's amazing.
It's crazy.
It's jumping all over the world and
yes.
and the community and being
working
able to
together.
working together. Yeah, right.
Like no care,
debatably the best position in a church to be able to work at is in the tech booth. That's where you get to joke around. You can get coffee. You can have donuts. You got everything. Now we have the whole world's tech booth coming together
and having discussions about how to be better.
And it's a blast.
Yeah. And so here's the crazy thing to me. When I think about media, I think about the tech booth or the media booth, the production booth, whatever you want to call it, in a live environment, like where there's actually a real pastor, a real message, real worship going on at that time, and you're really working it. Like, not to say there's a thing wrong with post-production, but I'm saying like that real tech booth, like you said, that's working there at the church, at the real fellowship house, they are so incremental, like so important to the ministry, because they're the media. They are the ones in between the one that's hearing the message and the one that's speaking the message.
Yeah.
And if they mess up, the message isn't heard. Because maybe the microphone's not working,
right?
Or maybe the live stream is not working, or maybe the output isn't right. You got the wrong,
person feels uncomfortable now.
Right now, it's like, everybody's on the edge, and so there's such a responsibility, and that's where I think for me, I've experienced the discomfort of something being messed up in the booth more times than I'm willing to admit.
It's not fun.
It's probably the most uncomfortable thing that you can be in church, right? It's like. Everybody's looking at me because they're squealing. Like, and how do I make it? Like, turn it off. Hit the button. Hit the power.
Sometimes you just want to duck under the board.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, when you work in the media booth, you're supposed to be invisible.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's supposed to ever know that you're there, and that's the best day.
Yes.
When they didn't even recognize that you were there, and everything went smoothly, and everything was great, and the slides were showing up at the right time, and the video played it on time, and nobody had to say, go ahead and cue the next slide, please. Next slide, next slide, please. You don't want that. Like, that's the worst thing that can happen, right? And so, to be able to empower people all over the world, like you said, and then be able to empower each other, like, and empower me. I'm a part of the people, right? I'm just
absolutely.
And I'm like,
me too.
Oh my goodness, I just figured out like what you felt like with the contain versus cover versus whatever the blur feel and all that stuff. That's how I felt with OSC, and that happens every Free Show Friday. That there's something that gets exchanged between somebody from another part of the world, like Indonesia. We got people from Africa all the time.
Yeah.
We got people from Wyoming and Minnesota and other.
So cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so I love that part of it. I love that dynamic of what is happening. But like you said, to get it into scope, it's crazy. Like, to take a step back and say, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Tech booths from all over the world are meeting up at the same time. Well, in the same place, different time zones.
Different time zones, yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah, using the same program, the same goal.
They all have access to it.
They have all.
People in Africa have access to the same thing.
Exactly.
In America.
That's
People
exactly
in Canada, people in Australia have access to
and
the
we've
same
missed that for so long, because even like OpenLP or there's not been a real community that's come around those. And even ProPresenter. I mean, ProPresenter has got a great community, but it kind of stops in North America. Like, and so this is a global church. Is wow. It's really cool.
When you said that, though, that's the part of it that I think is so crazy, because the reason OpenLP to me is because I used OpenLP for like 10 years, like nonstop. I was a faithful OpenLP user because it was reliable.
It's awesome.
It was solid. It wasn't very flexible, but you just had to learn it, right? It was. I literally adjusted my system to work around OpenLP. And that's what my challenge was when I came into Free Show.
Mm.
I was like, it's not boxing me in to do what it needs me to do. And it threw me off. I didn't know how to respond to that. It was basically saying, Free Show was almost like saying, hey, what system do you want? And that's the system I'll be. Like, that's the setup that I'll be. And I didn't understand how to do that, how to manage to say, oh, I have a system that'll do whatever I want, however I want. I just got to set it up that way. And that's what I think the beauty of it all would, like you said, Open LP not widely adapted across the board, because there's some churches that don't want that rigidness. They want the flexibility, right? And so Free Show gives them that.
But Open LP and other, a lot of those really paved the way.
Absolutely.
You know, which, I mean, definitely props to those guys way back then.
Yeah,
Just making that and making it open source. It's
for
awesome.
years. It was solid for years. I think it's like they were, and people still to this day use it. I think it's like I said that.
Oh yeah. For some applications, it's great.
Oh, unbelievable. And then ProPresenter on the flip end is like, it's great for some applications. And that's what I learned about people that use ProPresenter more than anything, those churches. Not that they work in silos, but they have their system that's unique to their ministry.
Right.
Because it's so flexible. They built a system that said, this is how we're going to do our macros. This is how we're going to do our stages. This is how we're going to do our inputs. This is how we do our outputs. And it may not be like the next church that uses ProPresenter though.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, so there's not a real exchange.
And I think there's cases where you're gonna have a church that has ProPresenter, and that's what they use as the main thing, and it's working and it's going great and awesome. But you know what? You can have ProPresenter and you can have Free Show.
I advise it all the time.
Yeah. In the kids' room, let's use Free Show, you know, or we're going to open up this second venue. You don't need all the things going on. Then use Free Show for that. You know, so I think it's in a church, you have to be flexible. You have to find different things that work, and Free Show is just another one you can throw in. But I want to go back to Amazing, and just a huge thing there for us is the fact that we do have that partnership, and you know, they've even helped you come out here, to make this happen.
They're part of this process for sure.
Yeah, one of the things that when we met with them was, hey, we don't only want to support just A Play Pro. We want to make sure that Free Show keeps getting supported. And man, that is such a kingdom move. And I love and I appreciate that, and I appreciate them for partnering with us. So it's a not a very well-known partnership, I guess, because it's kind of behind the scenes, and a lot of tech stuff is. That's just how it goes. But an organization that is truly trying to move the needle forward to help churches.
Church ministry and technology,
absolutely,
they go together, and they've gone together for so long. We've just not seen the fulfillment of it in the way that we're able to see it in this season, in this generation, in this age. It's like we literally have the best content and the best tools to deliver that content, I believe, for the first time. Like in terms of the body of Christ, like you said, like the way that Amazing Life is partnered with you guys is just indicative of the way the community of Free Show and Church Apps is already. It's like, hey, we love the mission. We want to contribute it. We want to fuel it as well, and continue to fuel it from other directions. And everybody else is doing the same thing. Everybody's pouring their logs on the fire, and the fire just continue to burn. And it's unbelievable to see what is in store, because so much excellence comes out of that.
Like I say, you know, we're the biggest organization in the entire world.
Wow.
You know, we can support the entire church. Like, we can support each other. And it gives me, when I think about it, and like, man, what are we really doing? And the reason that I think people like Free Show and the community is because, we're helping others. It's bigger than just having a program that works for your church. It is, we're helping others. And the fact that, you know, kind of the funny story that even, you know, that we're here today. It's because we have the same goal, and our goal is make sure that there's no place left that hasn't heard the gospel, and we're all about it. And so it's easy to say, hey, let's partner together. And then with this this whole church apps and the way we are, it's really easy to partner with people because there's no money involved. Partnerships are much easier when there's no money. You know, we're not trying to,
the mission is
we're
simple,
trying to get,
the mission is
here's
clear.
our mission. Here's our
Share.
why is people share. Let's get it out there. So always looking for more partners to partner that way. So man, it's a good conference. For kind of people that maybe don't know what Free Show is, break it down real quick.
And
then what's your role in Free Show? Why are you the Free Show expert? That's what we have to know.
I love that. I think that FreeShow is a robust software that allows you to have flexibility for any type of presentation, right? We see presentations on TV all the time. We don't even think about it, but they're presentations. Like they're presenting videos, they're presenting graphics and lower thirds and all that stuff. FreeShow can do it, right? We go to church, we see presentations. We don't think much about it. We see the lyrics, we just think, oh, that's the lyrics, right?
Yeah.
We see the scriptures. That's a presentation of scripture. And so FreeShow supports all those different things, and it does it to me at such a high level that it's unfathomable that it's free. And so that's what, like, so it's in the name. It's FreeShow. It's like
Yeah.
production companies, the TV when I watch it, they're not doing that they're not using a free software to do that, right? It's like, but FreeShow can do that, right? A lot of churches, like we talked about ProPresenter, they're not using a pre-program, right? Other programs, there's Easy Worship, and all those other ones that are not free, and they present the scriptures. And but this one can do that, and it can do that, and it can do that, and it's completely free. So it's a way for you to present content in the unique ways on different screens at the same time. Like that's the part that's the kind of the kicker of it for me that threw me off. I was like, I've never had a program that was that powerful, right?
Yeah.
And so that for that reason, my role personally, like my self-adopted or personally appointed role is to let people know how cool it is. That's literally all I do. Like I was talking to somebody. I was talking to I was on a podcast with Conversations with Tony Mobley, and he announces me. He goes, "This is Garry B Jr., the Free Show evangelist."
Yes. Yes, I heard that podcast.
I
It was
was like,
awesome.
I've never referred to myself as
Yeah.
that, but I'll take that. So I'm a
Yeah.
Free Show evangelist.
Absolutely.
I'm a self-proclaimed like enthusiast. I would say I don't know. I count myself as an expert because I'm an expert learner. I'll say that. I'm an expert learner of FreeShow, but I'm not an expert at FreeShow personally. But I believe that I have a lot. I love to train. I
Yeah.
love to help people understand new things. And so any little thing that I learn, I can help you understand it. And there's things that people are going to help me learn, but I love to learn so much. I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna apply it somehow.
You've helped me even when I'm out, maybe I use my clout just a little bit,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
because
You can flex. You can flex.
I'm like, okay, I'm helping this church. I'm supposed to be the expert here. I got this. Why is this NDI window like? Why is it always? I don't know. Like, but I know someone that does. Gary, can you log into this computer oh man, you help so much in being able to understand it and get it going. You're an evangelist for it for sure. When you started, I saw a couple of your videos and I saw the community was coming around you, and I'm like, wow. And what was crazy is right when you started making those videos, the prayers that were going up in our team were Lord, please just help us to be able to figure out how to make these videos that people will watch, that people can understand. I mean, I'm telling you, honestly, we were getting emails and we were getting messages. Why don't you guys make videos? How do we use this? Why don't you make videos for it? And we're like, Lord, we want to, but we just, how? Please provide a way. We didn't know. We had no idea. And all of a sudden,
You start seeing videos.
it's Garry B Jr.
My big head off here.
We're like, what? What did? Sometimes when you pray things, you kind of forget that you prayed those until you look back a couple.
Yeah, if you reflect back, it's like, wait a
Yeah.
minute, I prayed for this.
Wait a
That's
minute, we prayed for
crazy.
this, and the Lord said yes. He
Yeah.
answered that prayer,
Yeah.
and that's so powerful. And it's been such a joy just to see you following the Lord and what He's told you to do. And I know at one time you told me you felt like He was telling you to tell the world about FreeShow.
Yeah, that was so when you talk about that side of the story, I'm like, I don't know it that way. Like for me, I was in a tough season. It was like we were at a low point, and I was like, Lord, I need income. Like we had just moved to a new city, and we were trying to figure out how to navigate in this new city, and literally just kind of establish what God is in our lives by faith. And so we moved there by faith, and we had no clue what we were going to get into. And I was in the middle of prayer. My prayer was, Lord, I need income. I want to make money. I want to do something that's going to be a blessing to my family. And He said, I want you to equip the world or teach media to the nations. And I immediately shrunk back. I was like, I'm a little black boy from Kansas City. That ain't gonna work. I don't think you're talking to the right guy. Like I think you called the wrong number. Let me check the number. This, I think you got the right number. You know, like I've got people call me and they're like, yeah, Joanne, how you doing? I'm like, I think you got the wrong number. This is not Joanne. That's how I felt. It was literally like, I don't recognize that sound. Like that doesn't even sound like something that's for me, right? And so I didn't hang it up. I didn't hang up the call. I accepted it, but I was just like, how am I going to do that? Because at that time, in that same month, I was training churches and helping churches locally in my hometown in Kansas City, and OpenLP broke, and I couldn't figure out how to make it work on my computer. It was working on their computer, but I couldn't figure out how to solve their problem. And for me, I love to solve problems, so I don't look for problems, but when I find one, I look for the solution just as much,
Sure.
right? And so I couldn't solve it, and that was in that same month. I'm struggling, asking the Lord for how to do this, and He says, "I want you to train the nations or teach the nations media." I ran across FreeShow. It had been around for years before that. I had never heard of it, never looked for it, never seen it.
It was the right time.
I ran into it and I was just like, what is this? And I figured out what it was. And then I just was like, I can teach this. And I didn't know anything about it, but I was like, I teach what I know, you know, and then
Yeah.
people just started asking those questions and I just kept answering them. And so here we are still answering questions.
Yeah.
At the same program. So
Yeah.
The updates are, and they continue, and the questions will continue, and the answers will continue as well.
It's
By God's
amazing,
grace.
amazing to when you have those times where you can see both sides of the story.
Yeah.
And when we first met, we talked about it. It's like, wow, yeah, God's in this.
Yep.
There's no doubt at all in my mind.
Yeah.
Like God is moving through all this, and through Christopher too. His
Unbelievable.
story plays right into it.
Yeah, he's right in the middle of it.
It is unbelievable. So, and I think that's just the beginning of it. I think we're going to see more. I think we're going to see more people that are using it, maybe showing others about it. I mean, that's a big part of it. But
I
just
can't wait to
keep
see
sharing
more videos of other people.
Oh, yeah.
Because people have been making videos all over the world, which is unbelievable.
Oh yeah,
And
I see them in different languages. I'm like, I don't even know that language, but that's awesome.
I'm grateful. Yeah, I'm like, I know that's FreeShow.
I think you're copying Gary. Awesome. It's amazing.
I'm just glad we got to connect, man. I'm glad that you got to come out here and invite me and to be a part of this as well. But it's been fun. It's a fun journey that has not come to an end, and so I'm enjoying the journey. Hopefully, it's been fun for you guys as well. Like I said, you guys are famous. Like you guys, everywhere you're gonna go, people are gonna know what ChurchApps is. They're gonna know what FreeShow is, and that's because of the work you guys are doing. So I'll say thank you personally. Like I know for me personally, that's a big deal for the churches I work with, for the people all over the world that connect with me on YouTube. I'm saying thank you for them as well. Like saying, hey, thanks for what you guys have committed to and stay committed to it. Like that's a charge. Like that's a challenge. Like to stay committed.
It's staying committed. That's the team behind it all, man.
Yeah.
And all the developers that are starting to come on. I mean, we get developers every day. They're like, hey, I'm a developer. I see you guys are doing this for the church. I'm in.
Yeah.
Where can I help?
That's
We're like,
great.
jump in, man. There's GitHub issues, and they're jumping in and fixing them, which is it's just so cool. And it's really our goal is not to be like ChurchApps and that logo. That's not what it's about. It's like, hey, if you make something, share it.
Yeah.
Give it to the church. Again, we're the biggest organization in the world. We're all working together. We have one goal. So if you got something that can help the kingdom, man, share that. Share that to the world. Put it on, let us know if we can help in any way. Then we want to, because there's more of us sharing it and more of us making things available. We've got a big mission. We've got a lot of soldiers out there. And we're right in the middle of it. And so let's go.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's keep going. So
that's it.
And if you need somebody to, just really get in and help you walk through, maybe getting through from ProPresenter to FreeShow, or from PowerPoint to FreeShow, or just, we got some cameras, we got some stuff. They can reach out to you, right? And
they can.
And you consult, and you can be able to do that kind of a one-on-one basis.
Yeah, GaryBJr.com. That's the best place to go.
Yeah,
GaryBJr.com with 2 R's. Gary with 2 R's.
There you go.
Just go to the YouTube. Just look up FreeShow and find a YouTube video with a yellow background and a black guy on
it. Well, Gary, thank you so much. I think that the more that we hang out, the more that we keep doing this together, the better things just keep getting, and it's incredible. It's a good friendship that we have. Definitely keep that going. But it's such a blessing to so many churches what you're doing. His YouTube there's not a paywall behind that. You can jump on there and you can learn FreeShow 100% by yourself if you want to.
Yeah, that's the goal.
You know,
Empower you to do it. Yeah.
and it is powerful. It is great. And so keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate it, man.
Likewise. Likewise.
All right, that's good.
It's a wrap.